Let's talk about rollovers in Monarch Money. Rollovers can be really confusing or they can be really helpful if you know how to set them up properly and how to use them. So today I'm going to show you rollovers that are set up properly in Monarch Money, rollovers that are a mess in Monarch Money, and how to fix them if your rollovers are a mess. Hello and welcome. I am Natasha. I'm a money coach. I help people to learn systems that make managing their money easy and help them learn to manage their money with confidence. My goal is to help 100 families or individuals per year to increase their financial situation and to work towards financial independence. If you want to be one of those 100 families or individuals, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Okay, so what are rollovers? Rollovers are when you are setting aside money for a category and whatever money you do not use in that month gets rolled over into the next month. So imagine that you've got a bank account that is designated for car maintenance, and every month you're going to set aside so much money into that car maintenance account. When you need the money, you transfer it into your spending account and spend it, and whatever is left, you roll over into the next month. It's still available in that car maintenance account for you for the next month. Let me show you a visual of this before we jump into Monarch Money. So here we are with our car maintenance category, and this is our rollover category. And let's pretend like every month you want to set aside $40 into this car maintenance account. So on the first of the month of each month, Monarch is going to show that another $40 is being deposited into this account. So we will see that $40 go into that account in Monarch Money on the first. Now that does not mean that you have $40 in that car maintenance account unless you have set up a system to actually transfer $40 on the first of the month. So you do need to have a system set up to where whatever amount you want to contribute to your rollovers each month actually gets contributed into those accounts each month. One of the best ways to do this is to use a savings account that has either vaults or buckets, or to have separate savings accounts for the things that are your rollover categories. So for instance, you've got a bucket inside of your account. It's set up for car maintenance. Every time you get paid, you deposit $20 into that. So let's say I get paid twice a month. So each time I'm going to deposit 20. So at the end of the month, I will have that $40 available if I don't use any of it to roll over into the next month. So Monarch Money is just telling you what should have happened. It is not a reflection of what has actually happened. You still have to have a system to show these things happening. So let's jump back to our example. So we've got $40. It's the month of April available in this car maintenance account. Let's say something happened with the car this month and you had to spend 20 of it to fix something on the car. So now $20 goes towards the car maintenance expenses, and now you still have $20 available this month to pay towards car maintenance. And we get to the end of the month and you still got that left. So heading into the month of May, we've got that $20. And now on the first, Monarch Money is going to show that you've got $40 more being deposited into this account. Again, Monarch Money is going to show that it happens on the first. It does not have to happen on the first. It can happen throughout the month. Just by the end of the month, you need to have that money in there. Or if you needed it before the end of the month, obviously you want it in there before the end of the month. So now we've got $60 that is available to go towards car maintenance. Now, if let's say May is smooth sailing, there's nothing wrong with the car. So moving into the month of June, then we still have the $60 that has been rolled over. And now we're going to add in our budgeted amount for this month, which is the $40. So now in the month of June, we've got $100 that is available to spend for car maintenance. So that is essentially how the rollovers work. You are rolling over any extra money that you had left over from the previous month to be available in the month that you are in. So now let's jump into Monarch Money to see rollovers when they are set up properly. Okay, so we are looking at rollovers that are set up properly. I am looking at the non-monthly section. If you have your account set up in the non-monthly, the fixed flexible non-monthly approach, then the items in non-monthly typically automatically get those rollovers turned on for them. Because the idea is that for the non-monthly stuff, these are expenses you're not spending on every month, but you are setting aside for so that you have the money available whenever that expense does come up. So you will see this little icon here to designate it as a rollover. You can turn rollovers on for any category within your Monarch Money account. It doesn't necessarily have to be just the non-monthly. It can be turned on for any category. The way you do that is you'd go over to the little settings icon, hover over so it'll appear, and then when you scroll down, you will see the option to make the category a rollover fund, okay? So let's talk through what this means when we're looking at a rollover fund in Monarch Money set up correctly. First of all, you can see that all of these are in the green. Our rollovers should be in the green because when it comes to rollovers, that means we've got a system in place to where we're setting aside money and the money is available when we need it for us to spend. So then once we spend that money out of there, we should see it reducing down some, but we shouldn't see it going into the negative because we have planned for these things. We've set the money aside so that it is available. Okay, so looking at our first example, we've got charity and the budget is $250. So from the income that comes in each month, $250 is going to be deposited into the charity vault or bucket or account, however you have that set up. There has been $0 spent towards charity this month. What should be available is $2,177. So what you have to do is you have to look into your account to see, does my account reflect what is showing here in Monarch Money to know that yours are set up correctly? So when I look at this, let's go over the information on it. It's showing that we had a starting balance of $4,131. So when this rollover was initially set up, $4,131 was available in there. The amount that was rolled over from last month is $1,927. So we know just based off of these numbers that some money has already been spent at some point from this charitable category, which is fine. We don't really need to know that starting balance, but it's there for you to know. So what was rolled over was $1,927. The budget, what is being added to this month is $250. So at the end of this month, if there are no expenses that go out to charity, there should be $2,177 that is available to be spent towards charity. Now, if you're looking in your account right now, what you should see is at least that $1,927 because that's the amount that was rolled over from the previous month. And then if you have not transferred in the new budgeted amount, that's what you're going to see. You're going to see last month's number, or you might see a slightly higher number. So when I am looking in my account, I actually see a slightly higher number because I've got a little bit of a buffer inside of my accounts. One of the other reasons why I see a little bit of a higher number is because these accounts are earning interest. And at this point, I'm not taking that interest out and using it for any purpose. I'm just letting it collect in these vaults that I have set up. So the most important thing is that you at least see the rolled over amount from the last month. You can always, if you want to, if you see that you have more, you can sweep out whatever extra was inside of that account to reflect the rolled over amount from last month if you ever wanted to do that. So that's what we're looking at when it comes to the rollovers. I'll show you another example of the properly set up rollover. So we've got property tax. What is being deposited into property tax each month is the $880. What's actually been spent this month is $0. So there should be $7,004 available in this account. So I'm going to go and I'm going to open up my account that I have set up for property taxes or my vault or my buckets, however you have it set up, to see, do I have $7,004? And if the answer is no, then I need to go and look at least at the rollover from last month. Do I at least have $6,124, which was rolled over from last month? Yes, I do. Okay, great. Now, do I have a plan to deposit in the additional $880 that is budgeted? Yes, I do have a plan. So then by the end of this month, if no expenses happen for this property tax category, then I should see $7,004 once we get to the end of April inside of that account. Okay, let's take a look at one more example that has some spending that's actually happened in it. So we've got insurance. $240 is deposited into this account each month, and the actual spending has been $210 for the month. So what I should see at the end of the month, if there are no other expenses that come out, is $3,876. So when I hover over, I can see the rolled over amount from last month was $3,846. So once we started the month of April, that's what should have been in that account, that amount or higher. The amount that's budgeted is the $240. That's what Monarch is adding already. It may not have gone through in your system yet, but that's what's being added to the $3,846. Then the actual, the $210, is what's been spent. So that amount gets subtracted out, which gives us our remaining. Now, if you have not made your transfers over for insurance this month, then you should see that $3,846 minus the actual amount that's been spent, which is the $210, and that would give you what should be in your account right now, okay? But by the end of the month, you should have this remaining amount inside of your insurance vault, your insurance bucket, your insurance account, to know that your rollovers are set up properly. You should have at least this amount or higher, okay? So that is rollovers that are set up properly. We should see it as in green. We see things rolling over. This helps to make our cash flow show correctly inside of Monarch Money. You don't necessarily have to have rollovers turned on. If you turn them off, this just becomes a category of spending that resets each month. And let's say you are setting that money aside, you don't want to deal with rollovers, you don't have to, you can turn them off. What you're going to see is, instead of seeing in the green when money is spent out, like in the insurance, you might see it in the red because your spending is higher than what's incoming from this month. This is old income that you've earned from the month. So just so you know, when it comes to the cash flow side of things and what that looks like. Okay, let's jump into rollovers that are a mess and how we can fix them. Okay, we are in the rollovers that are a mess, and we see some green, we see some red, lots and lots of red. We should not see any red when we are looking in those rollover categories. If we are seeing red, that means we have overspent based on the amount of money we've set aside for this particular category. And one of the ways you can fix that is by like pulling money from other categories up top that you haven't spent. We're not looking at it from that standpoint today. We're looking at it from the standpoint of, let's start fresh and let's get our rollovers set up properly. So we're going to start fresh by turning rollovers off for each of these, then we'll turn them back on and start anew as if we are just setting up these rollover groupings, okay? So there are two things that I want you to think about when you are going to set your rollovers up. So number one, how much did you have set aside for each rollover category before this month started? That's one piece of information you're going to need to know. So before the month started, your auto maintenance category, your vault, your bucket, what did you have deposited in there before the current month started? And then number two, do you have a system set up to where this budgeted amount you have, so here we see 1,090, this budgeted amount, do you have a system set up to where it is actually being set aside each month? Because remember, inside of here, this is hypothetical, this is theoretical. Monarch Money is not looking into your account to see, oh, are you setting this aside? Yeah, you're setting this aside. No. Monarch Money is not checking that. Monarch Money is saying this is what should happen if you have a system set up to do it. So you need to make sure you have a system set up to actually make these transfers happen to where you are setting that money aside. So when it's needed, you can transfer it to your spending account and you can spend it. It actually really is available. All right, so those are the two things you need to know before we get started. So we're going to click on our settings. We're going to turn rollovers off. So we'll turn it off on here, save it, and this is going to reset everything. It's going to delete the historical stuff, and then I'll go back to this same category and turn this rollover on. And then I want it to start in the current month that we are in. The starting balance, for this one, I'm going to say I'm starting at 0, make it easy. I didn't have anything set aside for auto maintenance, but this month rather, I'm going to start doing it properly. I'm not going to go over the expense frequency or target amount. This is just saying like, how often are you going to have this expense coming up? What amount are you trying to save? We talked about this when we set up the budget initially. So we're just going to skip over that and hit save. Okay. So now I can see for auto maintenance, I am contributing $1,090 each month into this, and then the actual amount that has gone out this month has been $399. What is available left over is $691. So if you have made the $1,090 transfer into the month, then you should see now $691 that is left over, because you should have transferred out the $399 that you have spent already for the month to go towards the auto maintenance. Okay. Now let's move on to home improvement. So home improvement, we've we're budgeting 117. That's the amount we want to put into here each month. So now we're going to turn these rollovers off and turn them back on to get them fixed up. So I'm gonna turn it off, save it. Yes, I am sure. I'm gonna turn it back on. Yes. I want it to start in the month of April. For the starting balance this time, let's say that we had $300 set aside already for the month, for this particular category. So we'll put 300 there, and then we'll save it. And then we'll see $300 is what we have already had in here. So the starting balance was 300. We rolled over 300. The budgeted amount for this month is 117. That is going to be added into this account. What's actually gone out this month has been the 325. So what is left over is 92. So if no other expenses come out of this account this month, then we should see $92, at least $92 that is left in this category. So then we'll keep moving right along, go on to the next one. For travel and vacation, we will turn the rollover category off. Then we'll turn the rollover category back on. And then we'll want the starting month to be the current month that we're in. Let's say for travel and vacation, we already had $1,000 that was saved for it. We'll hit save on that. And then now we can see coming into this month, we had $1,000 that was saved. The budgeted amount, the new amount that was added in is $833. What's actually spent out this month has been $1,766. So moving into the next month, we should see $67 left in this vacation vault or bucket or account if there are no other expenses that go towards travel and vacation for the month. So you'll do that for each one of your rollover expenses that you have. Just go through, turn off the ones that are set up already, not in the looking right, turn them back on, put the correct starting balance in the starting month, save it, verify that the system is set up correctly to where you are actually setting aside the money that you have budgeted to go towards it. Verify that the amount shown here is what you actually see, or what you will actually see by the end of the month once you've made all of your deposit in there. And then you should see all of these in the green. These rollovers should be in the green. They should remain in the green. So that is how to fix your rollovers if they are messed up. If you have any other questions about Monarch Money, please leave them in the comments. I would love to help you to answer them. If you enjoyed this video, I am sure you're going to enjoy some of the others I have been watching. I cannot wait to see you in the next one.